Hey, I'm back. I told you I was going to make something with this Alfredo sauce, and here we are. I've been thinking about what to do all day and how to do it, and so I think the thing is to just go ahead and do it. So I'm using this loaf of bread. I've already cut off a little piece. We had garlic toast with it. This thing was like this long, so it's a great value. I recommend getting this, and so we're going to use this today to make sort of like a sub with, you'll see how this is going to come together. I've also got something else I've never tried before. This stir fry, and so steak thinly cut. I'm going to check that out and see how that works out. And so this is all going to come together, and I also have some corn that we're going to be cooking. So that's the first thing I want to do. I want to get this in there. So I'm about to do that right now. Alright, so it's me and Kayla, and I'm probably going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do 6 of those. I need to get some water though to put in here. So, this is awesome corn too. This is extra sweet, Green Giant. This is the one I always try to get. Oh, got lost one. So I'll take my corn, and I'll put it in this bowl, throw it in the microwave. Sometimes I'll put it on the oven, but I'm going to need all my eyes tonight. Alright, looks like these are some big pieces of corn. It's only holding 4 in there. So here's what I'm going to do. Yeah, there's some jumbos right here. Good Lord. It's that time of year. Everything's had time to grow. That's beautiful. I like it. Okay, I'm going to put the lid back on. Actually, first, before we do that, bring you in closer. First, before we do that, we're going to add some a little bit of butter. Put some on this side. Oh, put some right in the middle. I like that. Some over here. It's going to melt in the water, make it good. Also going to add some milk. Alright, so that finished filling it up. And we'll have 2 each, so that'd be perfect. So I'm going to put the lid, oh, one more thing. I keep forgetting stuff, sorry. A little bit of pepper. Not a lot, just a little. And a little salt. Okay, didn't use much salt. And now we're going to throw this in the microwave. I like this microwave, even though it looks kind of ghetto. I love it because it still performs like a champ, like it's brand new. I love it. So what I'm going to do is, these are going to cook in that water. I'm going to put this on for, let's do 6 minutes, but I changed the power level. This thing is really powerful, even though it doesn't look like it. I'm going to change the power level to 3. Oh, not fast enough. So it's going to put that 6 minutes, but it's going to do 30% power. And yeah, we'll just let that cook. Get our corn out of the way. Maybe able to squeeze one more in there, but some of those are just big, you know. Those are real big. Oh man, look what I have here. I set this thing in the freezer and let it cool down. So this is what it's going to taste like after it's cooled down. It's going to be so good, I bet. Ah, very good. Oh man, that is amazing. What a difference. Let's stick that back in there. Okay, so we have our stuff lined up over here where we need it. The next step, while that's cooking, is to, let's get some stuff chopped up. Some stuff chopped up over here. Bread out of the way. I'll start with this green pepper. I've already rinsed it off. I'm actually going to save these seeds can save these seeds and just use them fresh, throw them out there in your garden, and these green peppers will grow. This is a really high quality one right here, so you know it's going to have good babies. It's going to have good offspring. So I'm going to save that for later. Another thing I need to do and go ahead and get it going, obviously, is get this bread in there and get it toasted. I'm going to do that right after I handle these green peppers. Right now would be the best time of year to throw these out. I don't want to say the best time, but it'd be a great time. It won't take long for them to germinate and to produce stalks. Okay, so we have our green pepper trimmed. Now we just need to rinse it off and get rid of the stuff we don't need. Pepper here. Let's get rid of this. I set my pan over here. After getting these chopped up, I'm going to be putting them in this pan to saute. Throw a little olive oil in there. Now I'm going to cut the pan on. Let it start doing its thing. Let's see what you see. Alright, yeah, let's go back up to adjust. Let's see. I like to clean as I go. I think that's part of the process. If not, you're just probably like a sloppy person who doesn't even care. I don't want to be judgmental. Just a tip for becoming a better person and a better chef. Here we go. Alright, I'm going to take these, slice them down again. Keep in mind I already have the pan on, so I can't waste too much time doing this. Just let your finger be the guide. You definitely don't want to lose your finger. Be careful when you're doing something like this. This is an older knife though, it's not super sharp. Just sharp enough. The serrated edges looks like it comes in perfectly. Yeah, quite an old knife. Okay, so I have all of my green peppers chopped up, except for this one. It's quite a few green peppers. So something else I'm going to be making also is possibly spaghetti, or something to do with that. I think I'm going to take, yeah, I'm going to put half of these in here. Half of these in here in the pan. Oh, it's a no-no. It's a no-no because I have some more things to add to it. Like these mushrooms. Nothing like fresh mushrooms. Now I see the flavor after you saute them, the flavor that it adds, man, it's a game changer. Alright, so I said I'm going to put half in the pan. I'm going to save half for later. So let's go ahead and get that in the bowl. We'll save that for spaghetti. Plate for our mushrooms. chopped up. Put the corn on for another 6 minutes or so. And now let's chop up our mushrooms. Somebody told me to get a cutting board, but hell, I like the plate now that I've used this several times. I like it better. It has some cupping action here where it doesn't allow the stuff to kind of move around or go off the table. Kind of keeps it in place. Okay, so we have our mushrooms chopped up. Same thing, I'm going to use half of these for the spaghetti sauce. I like buying things that can be used, you know, in multiple ways. Okay, let's put half of it in the pan over here. Alright, and now we can take and use the rest. Definitely check these when you buy them. That's a no-brainer, but you know, some people, if you're not familiar with the mushrooms, I'll just say that you need to make sure they're fresh. You want to make sure they're white. If you're buying this type, make sure they're still good to be used. They can go bad quickly. Sometimes people don't care to take it off the shelf before it needs to be taken off. That's another story. Okay, so quite a few mushrooms. Get a great value. No, I wasn't even trying to use that as like their slogan, but that is, I see why they use that, because it is a great value. It's quite a few mushrooms. It's going to make some great sauce. Okay, so I'm going to add that to my green peppers over here. Yeah, that's going to be some excellent. Either I'm going to do another lasagna or I'm going to do spaghetti. Tell me which one you want me to do. I might do another lasagna. It takes quite a bit of cheese though. Okay, so let's move to the next step. We have our mushrooms and our green peppers. I'm also going to do a little bit of onion. Get rid of our fry. Let's have some more sweet tea. That's what we need right now. Just remember to put it in here. Oh man, it's getting iced over too. Look how icy it is. Can you see in there? So cold. That's perfect. So glad I made that tea. Now we have that prepared, there's something else we need to do. We need to go ahead and get working on this garlic bread. I'm going to get another plate. Let's get this out of here. Oh baby, it's going to be good. I'm so excited. I made myself wait a couple of hours to eat, so I'd be definitely very hungry and ready to devour. So let's see here. Like I said, I just cut this area off the other day when I used it, maybe like a day or so ago, and this makes great garlic bread. I'll have to do another video about that. So what I want to do is, I am going to use the same knife, however. Side I want to cut it in. This one has like a little crease, so I'm going to use this side. Slice them long ways. Be careful with the knife. Obviously you don't want to get cut at the same time. You don't want to go through. That one didn't slice perfectly. Look, you know what? It's going to be all good. All good. Here's what we're going to do. Taylor's down for right here, bud. Okay. So that made a little mess. Okay, we have a bread here. I'm going to manipulate the butter in the container. I wouldn't normally do this, but it needs to be able to be spread out in this situation. So I'm just using my butter knife here to soften the butter up and get it ready to go on the bread. It's going to help it spread, and it's like a whipped version of itself. Grab some more of that. I may have waited one day too late to use this bread. Hey, it's still fresh, but what I mean by that is it didn't really cut the way that it should have, or what I was, used to or accustomed to. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this in the toaster oven and let it toast. Not all the way. It's actually going to make a nice little bowl right here. I'm excited about that. So maybe that'll be actually a benefit, not a detriment. So we'll see. So good. Alright. Divide that and set it over to the side. Toaster oven going over here. So I'm going to add garlic salt to it. It's going to give a great base, great flavor. So we're going to throw that in here in the oven. And let's set a timer down here for 5 minutes. Just so I don't forget. And this is going to allow the bread to toast just enough. And then we're probably going to throw it back in the toaster oven here in a minute. So let's get on to the next step. The next step is going to be to saute this stuff. And let's move you over here. So I've got this. I told you I was going to do a little bit of onion too. Alright, I'm going to cut this outer shell off. Get rid of this root. Okay, so I've got this stuff that I don't want. Now it's gone. I'm going to use this plate. Same concept. I'm going to throw half of these in there. And I'm going to leave the other half for the spaghetti over here. Alright, it's coming together great. I'm going to be able to make 2 meals. Okay, while the bread is toasting over here, it's starting to look good, or better. Let's get it wiped down. Perfect. Let's get this on. Cut it on high. Also have this stir fry. I'm going to add pepper. Definitely want to throw some of this in. Oh, way too much. Guess I'll just add it over here as well. So that's going to be for the steak. Never cooked with this before, the stir fry. I know it's not going to take long to get done. But it's going to be tasty. It says Angus Premium Choice Beef. Pre-sliced, I like that a lot. I'm just separating it so to cook a little bit more evenly, more efficiently. Alright, 5 minutes is almost up for the bread. Matter of fact, it's going to still cook while it's in there. Let's cut it off. Get this looking better. Let's add a little olive oil to our steak. I'm going to stir it up so that make sure that seasoning gets distributed. See, it was sticking to one of them. Just one of them was completely consumed. Now we're going to be able to mix that up quite a bit better. Alright. Oh man, I'm going to start getting this more often. I really like this. The way this is looking at least. And as usual, sometimes it takes a couple times. It's the first time I've ever made this. Maybe it doesn't come out exactly right, but that's why, you know, it gives me a little bit of room to improve in the future. I like that. Learning as you go. Separate those two. That's what you make fajitas out of, steak fajitas. That'll be an interesting video also. So we have that. We have a timer. We need a little bit more olive oil. I think that's probably enough. We have plenty of this, so we can make another batch of this steak strips. Oh, I added pepper, but I didn't add anything else, did I? Good call, guys. Okay, there's that. And if you put garlic in there, make sure you mix it up really fast. That way it doesn't burn on the bottom. Cut the heat down on our steak strips. They're cooking good. Get a little messy with this one today. It's going to be good, promise. Promise it's going to be good. Something's telling me to add a little bit of this. Let's do it. Roasted garlic and herb. Not a lot, just a little. That should kick up the flavor. already had a lot of salt in the seasoning that got put on there. That's right, it has Montreal steak on there also. So if you're doing that, I put a little bit of Montreal steak. That was the leftover from this beef over here. Make sure you're mixing that up, so see how some of these are cooked, some of these are not. You want to make sure you're stirring this around. That's why they call it stir fry. Let's cut these up a little bit. Man, that looks good. Some pepper steak. Look at there, so many things you can use this for. And so if something told me to get it, I was a little intimidated. I was like, man, I've never tried it before. I don't know how it's going to be. I'm glad I got it. I could tell it's going to be a winner in the future and today. Just make sure you have it separated. I imagine that's going to be a necessity because it wants to stick together. Oh man, it smells so amazing. I wish you could be here to smell it. You could do some chicken chunks and throw that in there. Man, that would be good. And I think I may have done that one time already. Can't remember if I filmed it or not. Don't want it to be too hot. And that's what we have going on back here. Let's cut the heat off. Cut the heat off. It's still cooking a little bit, and I mean, I could have done stir fry, you know. I could have had some rice with the steak strips, or hell, you could do fajitas and do like with some tortillas and some other things added to it. Man, that would be delicious. I'm gonna use LTAP. I mean, I love LTAP, but that's expensive right now. Make it right here at home. Okay, these onions and peppers are looking good. They're only going to need just another minute. Let me take a glance. Something's telling me to take a look at this bread to see to make sure it's not burning. There's nothing crazy's happening there. So the bread needs a little bit more cooking. Let's do some cleaning up here. Let's look at the corn. Corn feels cold. Let's do another 6 minutes. This time I'm going to bump it up to halfway for the temperature. And that was great. It's not. Look at that. Let's taste a piece. Let's see what it tastes like. See how tender it is. It's pretty good. It was done and have a piece scurry up. It's very hot. Hot, hot, hot. That's perfect. Flavoring is just on point. That's so good. It doesn't need to cook any longer either. Oh, just in time. It's starting to burn a little bit. heat off. I'm going to switch these for just a second to bring this back up to temperature and to let this cool down a lot faster because that eye is piping hot. And while that's cooling down, that's where this comes into play. We're going to be adding this white sauce. I have the garlic Alfredo Bertolli version. Add that. That's what I wanted to cool down. I wanted to burn. A lot of times it chooses to stick to the sides, so you have to tap it or be patient. I've turned it upside down and let it sit there for like a day. It still sticks there, so that's not going to work if you're hoping that'll happen. Mix my white sauce up with my peppers. So let's go ahead and put the steak in there too. Why not? If it doesn't work out, we'll do it differently next time. Alright, I want to make sure everything is mixed up really well. I might need to use that again in a second. We'll switch eyes. It's so much more convenient. Sorry about that. So here we are. I was debating to keep that separate, but I went ahead and mixed the steak in. You could, in fact, cut these steak strips in half. That's what I'm going to do with the next one, I think. Now, you could have a meal with this, with some noodles, or you could do what I'm about to do. Let's see how it works out. Hopefully, it's going to be very, very tasty. Oh man. Super good. Steak really comes through. I always do this with chicken. That's why I was questioning, whether that'd be a good idea, whether it would work or not. I usually use chicken. And so let's do this. Let's see.